Hello, hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are well. It's been an interesting few days with the old DR650. I'm about to continue on the build with it. I just got a center stand for my bike. It's the T-Rex center stand. And the day I ordered the stand, I rode out into the desert and I got a flat on my rear here. And man, it was an absolute nightmare to deal with. Actually, I rode it out of the desert, rode it all the way back home, 50 miles an hour down the road. Bike was felt like it wanted to go in two directions. It was bizarre, to be honest with you. I'd never ridden on the flat like that on this bike, so it was interesting to experience that. But you can definitely ride out on a flat since I did it. I wasn't sure how I got a flat. After I got the tire off, I inspected it, and there were no puncture marks. The only thing I can think of is I got a pinch flat somehow. I hit some rocks, but I don't know. It's completely strange. Anyway, the nightmare began when I tried to deal with the flat myself once I got home. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's because I was trying to change it. It's so cold that the tire was so rigid, but man, I could not get this tire off the rim. It was a pain. I couldn't even break the bead. And it's the Moto's Tractionator Adventure tire. So yeah, I got to the point after a couple hours like, screw this, and just took it to the shop and let them deal with it. But I'm gonna have to deal with that, because one thing I always think about is, okay, what if I get a flat 100 miles deep in the desert? Okay, now I know if it's the rear tire, I can ride that out. If it's a front tire, that's not a problem. I've changed the front tire a couple times, or fixed a flat on it, so it's not a big deal. But the rear tire, whoa, that was a whole nother ball game. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do some training. So if any of you have any tips in regards to a rear tire by yourself, out in the wild, hit up those comments, because man, that was something else, man. I was like, wow. But I did realize that I can ride that thing out. So that's good to know. Anyway, I'm going to reinstall this tire here on the bike and then get to work on installing that center stand. We're going to see how that comes out. So join me. Yeah, I was watching videos on like changing a rear motorcycle tire, and it's like everyone was doing it and they didn't seem to have a problem. And I was like, what? Am I having such a big problem with this? And I was like, well, maybe it's because the weather's so cold. But boy, this tire really gave me a run for the money. I was like, I'm going to lose my shit dealing with this thing. So that was interesting. But yeah, I even I took another motorcycle, put the kickstand down on the actual tire, and like pick the lean the motorcycle over to try and break the bead. Wouldn't even go. Yes, I had the core out of the valve and everything. The tire was flat, and it's just like, this is unbelievable. So I don't know if the sidewall is so strong on the tire that it was prohibiting me from breaking the bead, but at the same token, I was like, I didn't get into anything majorly technical when I went on that ride in the desert. So it's like, if the sidewall is that strong, then why did I get a pinch flat? I don't know. It's just completely bizarre. Come on, you. If you've never adjusted your chain on your DR650, it's actually pretty simple. You just loosen the axle and you use these are numbered here, these plates back here to get your mount. I think I want right there. We'll just call it 2.2. There's the 2, and there's a divot, and there's another divot, so 2.2. I think that's where I've been. I think I kind of like that there. We'll go for that. All right, looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get that center stand on. And apparently this center stand, the T-Rex center stand that is, isn't going to have any problems with the Procycle lowered foot pegs, which I do have on my DR650. And it shouldn't also have any problems with the skid plate I have on my DR650. Speaking of which, I went ahead and reinstalled my T-Rex Racing skid plate. This is just a quick look at it. It's a little dirty. But I took it off initially because the vibrations were driving me crazy. But thanks to a viewer, we came to a solution to that problem. If you look right in here, you can see there's my finger's grabbing right there. That's just some rubber matting. So I cut out squares of rubber matting and I put it in between the frame and the skid plate. When I screwed it back on, totally solved the problem. It's completely quiet. No more vibrations. Perfect. So that problem is solved. Skid plate's back on the DR. Here's a quick look at the T-Rex Racing center stand. They have two of them now. They have an adjustable center stand, and this is just a solid one. This one does have something where you can place your foot to, assist with getting the bike on the stand. We'll see how it works out once we get it on. Okay, here's a quick look at all the hardware that comes with the center stand. These, of course, are going to go where the foot pegs are. That's what this is attaching to. And then you've got these for these two pieces here. This looks pretty easy, to be honest with you. And it does come with some instructions. So let's go ahead and get this thing installed and see how it comes out. Here's another view. I've got this better in some light of that rubber matting I have between the skid plate and the frame of the bike. And this works absolutely perfectly. So 3 squares of the rubber matting where the skid plate attaches to the bike, and no more annoying vibrations. Okay, well, I think I've got these two pieces kind of correctly installed. There's a rubber piece right here that's obviously going to mash on that part. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be too complicated. Of course, the next few bolts through here and here, those are going to go where the foot pegs are. So should be pretty easy, I presume. Oh, well, it's about to get funner. I've got to remove the actual pegs to get at this. All right, well, there's one. All right, so this is going to go back on like that. Okay, perfecto. Oh, this isn't too bad. I had to jack the bike back up, but I've definitely done more problematic things on the bike. Almost done here. Everything's kind of in place. I just have to attach the spring right here. And it looks like this is going to work out pretty well. Doesn't look like it's going to interfere with anything. No. And it's pretty far from the chain. It looks pretty good. Let's get the kickstand down now just to have a look. Yeah, I think that's going to, you can get an idea of how close to that chain it is. And it's tapping the skid plate, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'll tighten everything down and see what happens. It does say to put some thread locker on those bolts, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them out one by one, put some blue Loctite on them, and then we'll tighten everything down. We should be good to go. So I just thought of something as I'm putting everything back together here with these foot pegs. This is going to push the foot pegs out, what's that, maybe 1/4 of an inch more. So that's actually a good thing because of I've got a Procycle seat on. It's a wider seat. So this is going to, when I stand up, it kind of rubs into my calves. This is going to give me a little more platform, a little further out down here to stand on. So I think this is going to work out pretty well having the center stand on. These springs are strong, man. So hopefully it's not going to have a problem with this thing like dropping down or anything. Okay, it is fully installed. Seems pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and get it down and see if we can get the bike on it. All right, the trick to this is getting it level and get the foot peg there stand on. Should make it a little easier. All right, well, the DR is by no means a light bike, so see if I can, how many times it's going to take for me to get this. I got a pannier I can grab on, so. Oh, wow. That was pretty easy, to be honest with you. And yeah. That rear tire's off the ground. That's a pretty much brand new Moto's Tractionator Adventure tire. So yeah, all right. Put a little weight on the back and I can get the front tire off the ground. Okay, perfect. Well, that's what I was looking for. Looks like we're good to go. T-Rex center stand installed. Pretty easy to get up too. All right, folks, there you have it. As always, thank you very much for watching. I got lots more content on the way. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is free. Folks, we'll see you later. Stay safe out there. D-Rock out. Adios.